You can do this. No, you can't. I'll never remember all this. Give it a try. Is that crazy or what? It's the fake news that we tell ourselves every single day. And what is fake news? Fake news is just made-up stuff, masterfully manipulated by our brains to make things look credible. Everything is true, and yet nothing is true. It's been around as long as Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and that perfect man. We all hear that voice inside of ourselves, that inner mental chatter, and it just never shuts up. Instead, it just ruins our ability to stay in the present. It distracts us, it consumes us, and we get so caught up in the details of what it's saying to us, we forget we're separate from that. It's not even a part of us. It's just our egos colluding with our brains. And our brains are the most important organ in our body. And I have to tell you, sometimes our brains just aren't what you think they are. We get a new thought every 1.2 seconds, and 60 to 70% of those are negative. How is that working for us? Not really. Dr. Rick Hansen, a neuropsychologist, said that we're born with a negativity bias. So we attract the bad and we repel the good. And we're on high alert every day for negativity. More and more negativity, problems, threats. They're all around us. And what do? We then, over time, create what is called a negative cycle of behaviors and emotions and thoughts, which turns into negative consequences. And where does that lead us? A self-defeating spin. The one that we play over and over and over again until it's hardwired into our nervous system. And you'll hear this a lot, but our neurons fire and then they wire, and that's what stays inside of us. And just when our lives seem like things are going really well, that apprehension comes in, and it derails all of our happiness. And our brains, couch potatoes, Groundhog's Day, they love us to repeat the same patterns and repetitions over and over again. And guess what they do? They reward us with what? Self-doubt, overthinking, procrastination. I've had that negative cycle in my life, and I felt like I was the poster child of resiliency. In fact, I was born in an elevator. And my dad swore that I would have ups and downs in my whole life. And I did. Obstacles, tons of speed bumps, so I felt like I was going to stop and never be able to go again. And I wasn't mindful. Instead, I lived in the future. I was sad about the past. I just felt stuck and unhappy. I went through a divorce. I was married for over 20 years. And right after that, I lost really close friends in 9/11. And I had enough. And I wanted safety, and I wanted happiness. So I built Cynthia's Ark. I put 2 cats and 2 dogs and 2 kids and 2 cars. And I was trying to figure out where I was going to be happy. I was going to be happy and safe back in California, where I felt like that was the home away from home for me. But my happy ending just never came. Instead, I was one of 2,200 homes that were destroyed by the California fires. And I decided to be an entrepreneur. And we all know how that goes. Ups and downs and ups and downs and such inconsistencies. And when I found that my life had reached the point that I was finally happy, one day my husband came to me and said, "We're losing our house tomorrow, I didn't want to tell you." And I discovered that that man was not the person that I thought ever that he was. And stuff is just stuff in your life, whether it's a house or a picture. People ask you the silliest things. When your house is on fire, what do you take? Well, you take yourself out. And that's what I had to do. I had to take myself out of the situations that I were in, and I had to change my life. And I'm here to tell you, you can change your life too. Anywhere you are in life, no matter where your journey is, you can change your life, but you have to change your mind. And in order to do that, you have to do it neurologically. We can write affirmations. We can write gratitudes. And I have that 5-second, let's get up and go rule. But those things alone are not going to change and rewire our brains. It takes a lot of repetition and a replacement of that negative cycle to a positive cycle to strengthen our connections in our brains. It takes desire, it takes determination. And think of your brain as a muscle. Everybody would like to lose 20 pounds and get completely toned in a month. But that doesn't happen with our brains. We have to keep repeating and repeating and firing those neurons. We're going to wire. I work with executives to try to help them build inner resources for resiliency. Because I told you I was the poster child of resiliency. So who knows it better? And I offer them these 3 Ps. And I'd like to share those with you to start your resiliency. P1 is presence. You want to grow good? You want to tilt positivity in your life and tilt to the side? You have to be focused. You have to be in the here and now. You have to be in the present. So ask yourself through the day. Have a self-direct. Where are my thoughts? Is it the here and now? Am I in my present? Because when you're in your present, we seek clarity, and you can see so many things that are all around us. So have a mantra, have a self-statement on a sticky, and keep checking yourself through the day. Stay in your moment. P2 is practice. We all know what practice is like. But we're removing that negative alert to a positive alert. Find positive experiences during the day, at work, at home, when you're just running around. If you can't find one, make one up. Movements, sensations, sounds, thoughts. They don't have to be big. They can be sort of small. It could be that wonderful sip of the coffee when you first wake up in the morning, or a hug. It can also be just a good song that you like on the radio. I make mine, they're called mindful tickles. And what tickles me in the morning is carpool karaoke. It makes me laugh every morning. How can you not laugh? I hug my dog Murphy and tell him how much I love him. These are positive experiences. And I ask everyone, write them down. How many did you have today? What were they like? And keep a Cynthia's mindful tickle list in your pocket. Because sometimes you're having a bad day and you just can't figure out how you can find something positive in your life. And I always have a positive experience right there with you. I'm with you. P3 is performance. This is a little tricky because we're going to install these external experiences into ourselves. And how do we do that? We pretend we're building a fire, I always tell people, and find yourself a positive thought. So let's try one together. Let's say that a colleague of yours brought you a lunch unexpectedly to the office. That's really nice. A random act of kindness. That's our positive experience. Step 2 to that is, how do we enrich it? How do we keep that with us? What thoughts or feelings do you tell yourself? That was really nice of this person to bring me lunch. I feel joyful. I feel happy. What a selfless task. I'd like to do the same for her. I feel giving. I feel love. And I want to hold on to those thoughts and those feelings for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. And as I get closer to the flames of that fire, I feel the warmth coming inside of me. And that's how we start sinking. We want to sink those thoughts and feelings deep inside of ourselves because we want to stall them and fire and wire them. And how do we do that? We visualize from our neck all the way down to the stomach. We visualize that warmth of the joy and the gratitude and the flow of what we're feeling inside of ourselves and sink them inside of ourselves. That goodness is growing inside of us, positive feelings, and we're getting rid of some of the negative ones. And we're repeating this for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, a minute, as long as you can, because you're holding on to this. And guess what? We're rewiring. And it feels so good to know that we're building and strengthening those interconnections to our brains. But you have to do it not one time a day, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. It's that repetition. Remember, we're wiring and firing, right? We're getting go along with that brain. So it takes practice. So keep a journal. How many times did you install today? What did it feel like? How does it feel to feel good growing inside of yourself and knowing you're getting increasingly resilient so you can act in a responsive way to stressful situations? It feels really good, but that's the good that we need to hold on to and repeat it time after time after time. And remember, you can't fake positivity. It's like faking an orgasm. And what benefit is that for any of us? It's just fake screams and fake news. Thank you.